Sarper Guven has been exhibiting troubling behavior on 90 Day Fiancé, prompting Shekinah Garner to rethink their relationship. They first met through a dating app in Turkey, where their initially casual connection swiftly developed into a serious bond. Sarper and Shekinah made their debut in 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 5, where they confronted various challenges in their relationship. Among the concerns were Sarper's insistence on Shekinah adhering to a specific weight and dressing to suit his tastes. Moreover, Shekinah prohibited Sarper, a fitness trainer, from working with female clients. A significant conflict arose when Sarper unintentionally removed Shekinah's hair extensions during a dispute. This incident seemed to signal a breaking point for their relationship, yet they managed to come back together. They got engaged in 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 6, hopeful for a bright future ahead. Shekinah applied for Sarper's K-1 visa to enable him to relocate from Turkey to the United States for their wedding. Although he was initially reluctant to leave his settled life in Turkey, Sarper ultimately chose to move for Shekinah, driven by his affection for her. Sarper, who sees himself as a rebellious character, initially met Shekinah for a casual encounter in Turkey. However, their feelings deepened, leading to a serious relationship. Nevertheless, Sarper often boasts about his past relationships with 2,500 women. Viewers of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 have heard him bragging about his extensive sexual history, which some might find unromantic or lacking in dignity. Even Shekinah feels that Sarper should not take pride in having been with so many women, as it could indicate a reluctance to commit. As soon as Sarper arrived at Shekinah's home in Los Angeles, he began to worry about his future in America. Shekinah implemented strict rules in her residence, where she ran her esthetician business. Sarper had to adhere to these guidelines and humorously referred to himself as part-time homeless. However, beneath this humor, a darker aspect of his personality emerged during a recent argument with Shekinah. Sarper told Shekinah on 90 Day Fiancé, "If we split, you will mourn for years for me." Although he has exhibited mood swings and feelings of depression, his arrogance should be a cause for concern for Shekinah. Both Shekinah and her sisters have been picking up on red flags regarding Sarper. While they've welcomed him into their family, one sister, Shariah, remains skeptical and questions whether Sarper has genuinely changed. In a recent episode of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, Sarper attempted to mend his relationship with Shekinah's family, but his gestures seemed disingenuous. Shekinah's sisters noticed Sarper's temper issues but were open to giving him a chance to demonstrate his worth. However, it was alarming that he trivialized their concerns by stating that every man faces anger problems instead of providing reassurance. She realizes that he is having a hard time adjusting to his relocation to the United States, but she will not permit him to express his frustrations at her expense. It appears that Shekinah might reconsider the wedding if Sarper persists in disappointing her with his actions. She holds herself in high regard and is willing to end their relationship to protect her own happiness and tranquility. Even though they seem to be on the verge of splitting up, their joint social media account indicates that Shekinah and Sarper are still together. Recent updates on Sarper's social media imply that he remains in Los Angeles. He might have been trying to improve his attitude towards Shekinah, leading to a more content relationship between them. Nevertheless, if Sarper fails to confront his anger issues, he risks losing Shekinah's affection for good. For their marriage to flourish, he needs to keep enhancing his communication abilities and move past his former behavior as a womanizer. It is hoped that viewers will witness a notable transformation in Sarper on 90 Day Fiancé.